Welcome to the Healthy Metal Hippie podcast, where art and wellness collide. I'm your host, Ashley, and I am so excited to connect with you today. Now, let's jump into today's episode, ready to rock and with an open heart. Well, hi and welcome to the Healthy Metal Hippie. Today, we are here with Zain from London Nootropics. Welcome. We are so happy to have you, and our very first in-person recording as well.
Amazing. Thanks for having me. It's so cool to be here.
So, we are talking the magical world of adaptogen coffee and how life-changing it's been. I probably got into mushrooms and adaptogens like 15 years ago studying herbalism.
Yeah.
But I want to know about all your story. How you guys got into it, how you got started. Tell me everything.
Yeah, sure. Maybe so the first thing, what we always do is we explain adaptogens for anyone that doesn't know what they are. So adaptogens are natural plants and fungi that help us balance stresses in our mind and body. So for example, you've got ashwagandha. We use a root extract and it works on our adrenals and it can help balance our hormones.
Right.
So with coffee, we don't get a spike in cortisol. We're nice and balanced. So they help you balance stresses in your body.
And cortisol is the stress hormone.
Exactly.
The major one.
And we go straight into it, and then I can tell you a little bit about how we started.
Yes.
So when we have coffee, there's two things. There's two really, really good synergies with adaptogens and coffee and caffeine, right?
Right.
So when we have coffee, regular coffee, caffeine's absorbed quickly, we get a spike and then a crash, and then we're like, oh, we need another coffee.
Yes.
And then you have another coffee, and then you get a crash, and you can have 4 or 5 coffees in a day, and you're kind of roller coastering through your day.
Yeah.
And when you have 4 to 5 coffees in a day, or you're sensitive to caffeine, you can spike the cortisol, your stress hormone, and then some people get palpitations, they get jitters and anxiety. And that's you got a question?
No, that's me. I don't have any questions, but that is me. I'm very sensitive to caffeine.
So that's caffeine. I mean, caffeine's good for us. It's got loads of health benefits, but the main thing is it helps us have a productive day. But there are those side effects that people sometimes get. Now, with adaptogens, they can help balance out that spike and crash. So they can help give you sustained energy with that crash. And they can help balance out your cortisol, like we explained with the ashwagandha. So a lot of our customers overall, they say they went from having 4 or 5 regular coffees to 1 or 2 adaptogenic coffees in a day, and they're more balanced, before more focused, have more energy. So that's the synergies in a nutshell. And you asked about a little bit about our story.
Yeah, I want to know all about it. Because it's not something that a lot of people get into coffee, but with added health benefits. A lot of people, it's a little bit of a jump still, where it makes sense for some people. For other people, it's a bit of a jump to add those extra benefits.
Extra benefits, and you need the extra benefits. So it was we stumbled across adaptogens, right?
Okay.
So me and my co-founder Shez, we were having coffee before the gym, and we were just adding in natural extracts, not necessarily adaptogens.
Right.
But I remember I remember at one point we were adding in guarana extract, which is essentially more caffeine, right? And we're just to give us an extra boost. So if we take one step back, I was staying with Shez in Bournemouth in the south of England, and his cousin was semi-professional boxing and was taking us to the gym all the time, and was giving us loads of pre-workout drinks, and it was this chemical laced pre-workout juice. And you would have all this energy in the world, and then afterwards you feel a bit crap.
Yeah.
So we started having the coffee as a pre-workout, adding in natural substances. And Shez being friends with everyone in the gym, they were like, "Oh my god, I want to have what you're having."
Right.
And they're like, "You should make it to a business. I'll buy some off you." So we met a nutritionist, Amanda, and she introduced us to medicinal mushrooms. And we were like, "What are you talking about, mushrooms?" And as soon as we had medicinal mushrooms and started trying adaptogens, they were incredible. And we were thinking, why aren't we're now taking these every single day, depending on what we needed in that day. like we should normalize this. Everyone should be having adaptogens. They're so good for us. And it's a bit crazy, like places in like the East, in like China, in India, they use adaptogens like regularly all the time for thousands of years. They know the benefits. And in the West, we've just kind of not really known about them that well. Like
it's still underground.
Yeah. So then we decided like we're not just taking adaptogens as a pre-workout. We're taking them depending on what we needed. So say one day like we've got brain fog, we feel distracted, we needed that like cognitive boost, like we needed that mental clarity and focus. We'll take different adaptogens.
Yeah.
And then one day we're really stressed. We're like, oh, I'm really, really stressed. You're not going to have a productive day if you're stressed, right?
It's true.
So we'd like put some ashwagandha in the coffee, and we're like, okay, this one's going to help balance me out. And that's how we came up with our 3 blends.
I mean, it's amazing. And I love that they are all customized. So it's not just one size fits all. Yeah. You have 3 different blends, right? We've got them here. So we'll pull them out. We've got the Mojo blend. We'll bring it up here.
So the Mojo, that's the Mojo. So the Mojo is kind of like the pre-workout. It's to wake up your body, like give you like a physical boost, right? So you have cordyceps and ginseng,
which is huge.
Yeah, so a lot of people have had the ginseng, right? It's good for your blood flow, and that can when you can oxygenate your muscles and push your blood around your body. It gives you a physical boost, right?
Absolutely.
And then cordyceps is good for your aerobic capacity, oxygen flow, and boosts ATP, our energy molecule. And that's the benefits that we talk about for Mojo. Now, with adaptogens, there are other benefits as well.
Yes.
So cordyceps is also immune boosting. One of my favorite benefits is it can help you rapidly reset your body clock from jet lag. So when you're traveling, you have Mojo. Or and then you don't get jet lag.
Really? Because I mean, I haven't been on a plane for a couple of years, but
if you haven't, or you've got an international visitor to see you, you're like, you need to enjoy yourself from the moment you meet. You have to be like, listen, have the Mojo.
Yeah. No, that makes so much sense. And then we've got, if you're watching on YouTube, you'll be able to see these. Otherwise, there'll be links. But this is the Flow box.
The Flow. This is our most popular blend.
It's my favorite, I think.
It is. Well, we're having Flow now.
Yeah, we're drinking Flow. You can see we've got our drinks here, and it's delightful.
Thank you. So lion's mane and rhodiola. So Flow is all about mental clarity and focus. So lion's mane is known as the brain mushroom. Mm-hmm. It can actually increase nerve growth factor in our brain, which is a chemical that increases nerve growth factor, which is like the growth of new neurons. So it's great for your memory, your verbal fluency, your cognitive health. And then rhodiola, it's a natural root adaptogen, and it's good for cognitive and physical performance.
And a lot of people, I know a lot of people just take it as a supplement by itself. So why not join coffee for it?
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of people are having a cup of coffee for that mental clarity boost, right? For that, help them focus, like wake them up. Right?
It's so true. I know for me, like if I'm drinking straight coffee, I can do like 1 cup. But if I try anything after that, it's like game over.
Car crash.
Yes, I'm totally. Oh yeah, I'm not very nice. But this stuff, I'm always nice when I drink.
What is it called if you're not nice, if you have too much coffee? Because if you don't eat, you get hangry.
Right.
So what is it called with coffee?
I don't know.
Hangry.
It's just like caffeine rage.
Caffeine rage, that's it.
But it's interesting too because I can drink as much tea as I want. I could drink not energy drinks, but like certain pre-workouts I'm fine with. Coffee, too much
caffeine
rage, gut rot, all that.
What about no coffee?
No coffee. No,
the opposite of caffeine rage.
Yeah. Nothingness. The void.
The void.
Then we've got the Zen box. And the Zen is also beautiful. I'll let you talk about it. I know for me I still function really well, but I just feel so much more calm doing it. Energized yet calm.
So it is like our most balancing blend. We say it's for calming energy. So it has ashwagandha and L-theanine since last week.
Right. That's because this is the new blend.
This is the new formula, yeah. So ashwagandha, like we mentioned, it works on our adrenals, and it can help us balance our cortisol spike. So you're nice and balanced after coffee. And L-theanine has incredible synergies with caffeine, right? So there's a few studies that have come out recently talking about their synergies. Like one of my favorites is like a lot of people are like talking about coffees and caffeine levels, and they're like, yeah, but if I have caffeine late in the day, it affects my sleep. And we're like 100%.
But not with this.
Well, there's some studies that show how it helps you metabolize caffeine and going down that route. But yes, it's a misbalancing blend. So if you're like, I want a coffee, but I feel like it's going to put me on edge, give me that caffeine range, you have it Zen. It'd be nice and balanced.
Yes, absolutely. And then just for people who want to know, there's selection boxes. And so it's just a little mix of all of them. So you can try them out and find your flow, find your best one, right?
We should make we'll make like a voucher special promotion for your listeners.
Ooh, yes. And then that would be amazing. And then people can come order all of it. So then I should ask, do you ship worldwide?
We ship worldwide.
You ship worldwide?
Yeah.
So
worldwide. Worldwide, baby.
I love it. Because you know what? I know my sister, when she's been over from Canada, she's obsessed. And she's like, can I get some more boxes of that steak home? And I'm like, okay. So she's like, yeah, me too. No, she's obsessed. And everybody who tries it is, even the non-coffee drinkers, once they try it, they're like converted. You know, and this is what I love about it, because it tastes like coffee, but it has all of these benefits. Do you find people, you know, have objections to trying it? They go, ooh, mushrooms in my coffee, because I hear that a lot from people sometimes.
So it depends on like where they're at, but we've definitely been at shows where people don't know what adaptogens and mushrooms are, right? And they're like, is it going to taste like mushroom soup? And we're like, listen, try it. Make it how you make your normal coffee. If you add milk, add milk. If you want it black, have it black.
Yeah.
When you try and explain it to people, we say like the Mojo and Flow blends are slightly earthy compared to a regular coffee. Yeah. A lot of people mention Zen's a little bit chocolatey. But we say like, look, taste and experience is important. You've got to enjoy what you put in your body. Yeah. But then also like the impact on your day, like the internal cues and stuff. But taste is really important to us.
Yes, I know it is. It's, you know, but do you think attitudes are changing towards mushrooms, seeing them as a medicine here, right? Like we said, they're in the East. It's been used for thousands of years, things like reishi and, you know, there's turkey tail, I don't know, there's tons of different medicinal mushrooms. But over here, it still seems to be, you know, a newer phenomenon. And it's nice that it's in mainstream.
Yeah.
Starting to get mainstream.
Yeah, 100%. I mentioned like shows that we go to many different kind of things, like from festivals to, we had like a conference last week with Wired Health.
Right.
Like I've got two in mind. So the festival is Medicine Festival.
That's huge here, right?
Medicine Fest, it's not massive. Like it's got a lot bigger, like because year on year, because we went for 2 years in a row, and it like almost doubled in size. But it's still like 8,000 people.
It's a lot of people.
But not like a Glastonbury.
No, like, but I mean, it's a little different vibe too.
Yeah, it's a completely different vibe. But there's no alcohol at the festival. It's very shroomy. It's shroomy coffee. But there it's like people are awake to adaptogens. They know they're like, oh, could I just get the lion's mane coffee this morning? They'll come back in the afternoon and be like, could I get the Mojo? I need a boost. And you're like, you've just literally read the menu and you know, they're like, yeah, we know. Whereas it was interesting at this health conference. Usually the health conferences are really good because people know. People didn't really know. They're like, what, mushrooms? And you're like, you're in like your health, like your background's health. But it was like more corporate kind of vibes. So it's different. I mean, some audiences are fully on board, and some others like it's still new to them. But definitely since we launched 4 years ago that we've noticed like a big uplift in people knowing about adaptogens in mushrooms.
That makes me so happy. It's exciting. And you were on Dragon's Den, right?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
An experience.
I bet. Do you want to tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, sure. So I'll tell how like you want the long version.
I want the long
English
version.
version.
Give me any version you want to give us.
So we got an email from a researcher at the BBC that was like, "Do you want to apply for the show? Like, came across you guys and think you guys are really cool." And I'm like, not taking it seriously. I'm like, yep, yeah, we'll do it. Yep, next email, yep.
Right.
So I'm like, can't be real, right? Like, it's never going to go through. And then, like, a few emails later, the guy's writing back. He's like, "You've got a filming date." I'm like, wait, what? And I'm like, call Shez. I'm like, Shez, I need you to come to mine because we need to practice this pitch thing because we've got filming date on the BBC. So Shez comes, and then we were just like practicing our pitch. And because when you enter, you got remember some numbers and think, all right, what they're going to ask us. The main bit is like delivering your pitch at the beginning.
Yeah.
So we did that. That was incredible. We did the pitch all fine. They tell you they're like, yeah, you won't notice any cameras. Don't worry. Just speak to them like a normal. Like you step into them, you're like, these are the biggest cameras I've seen in my life. And then we were in there for like I think it's like an hour and a half, and then they make like a short snapshot of the kind of conversation stuff.
Right.
Really, really cool. Like they were giving us advice. Some of them were like being a bit mean at times, but they're just playing games. They're like, I remember right at the beginning, the numbers was my my bit. Like we split up. So all right, if there's a numbers question, I got it. Right? Yeah. So I think it was Peter Jones that asked me like, so what are your numbers? And I'm like, right, just said it off the top of my head. I'm like, that's it. And he's like, that doesn't add up. What are your numbers? And I'm like, no, that does add up in my head. So I was like, okay, and I just said it again. And he goes, nope, that doesn't add up. And I'm like, no way, this guy. And then Deborah Meaden like looks at him, looks at me and goes, no, they do add up. And I'm like, that's when you knew. I was like, they're just playing games. They just want to capture something fun. Yeah. But it was really, really cool experience. And afterwards it was like, I mean, you're being shown on TV, right? Like we were so busy. And we still get people like every now and then at shows saying, "You've had some Dragon's Den." Like, yeah, we completed it. Yeah, we completed it. Yeah.
So it was a good experience then.
Really, really good experience. Loved it.
You learned a lot, I assume. Good takeaways on it.
Yeah. They give me loads of advice. They're actually really nice. Really nice kind of
thing. It's so cool. I can only imagine what it'd be like to get an email like that and you're like, really? Is this for real?
Yeah, you don't take it seriously, right? Like you're just like, yeah, okay, sure, I'll apply for your show.
And then there it is. And that's, I mean, and yeah, it must have been a huge boost for the business overall.
It's really good.
I mean, it's exciting because I know you see products like this and they are actually changing people's lives. It's not a bit of fluff. Like there's a lot of fluffy things out there that
100%.
But this is, I mean, it is life changing. Have you experienced burnout before?
But listen, I don't know the meaning. This word isn't in my dictionary.
Oh, really? Really?
Well, I've never experienced burnout, but usually I just have adaptogens every day.
See?
So like
you're ahead of the game. But have you had people come to you and say, this has really helped me manage my burnout?
Yeah. We have, there's a few different audiences or like segments of customers that like regularly write to us, and you're just like, no way I did that. So maybe like the first one that we realized almost straight away was for us it wasn't a huge thing, but for some people it's like life changing, and they're like, oh my god, I haven't enjoyed coffee in years because I'm sensitive to caffeine, but I drank your Zen blend, someone gave it to me and I'm absolutely fine. I can enjoy coffee again in my day. Like, thank you guys and stuff like this. And then Zen kind of became the like it's almost balancing blend, like if you're like how we explained, but it kind of became like if anyone says about sensitive to caffeine, we're like try Zen.
Right.
Let's try Zen, right? So that was the first kind of aha moment of we're like, holy shit, this is like life changing for some people. And since then, like we've got a whole bunch of different audiences. So we have like that kind of neurodiverse ADHD audience.
Yeah.
And we do get people write to us. Like sometimes it's like, oh yeah, it helps with my ADHD. But then sometimes we get an essay saying like, listen, I've been on meds since I was a teenager, right? For my ADHD. I've stopped everything and I just have your flow coffee.
Right.
And we're like, really? But then we're like, okay, this guy is like serious. Like he's written us an essay about how this much has impacted his life. And like as a brand, we can't like we have to say certain things to the brands. We have to say like, listen, speak to a functional medicine doctor, etc.
Yeah.
But and then on the side, we're like, that's amazing, dude. Like it's really good to hear. Menopause is a big one as well. So it's like the way we frame it now, it's like we're like, if you've got menopausal brain fog, you can have a flow. If you've got menopausal anxiety, you have a zen. And if you've got menopausal fatigue, you have a mojo.
Right.
So there's different audiences where you're like, do you know what? Our blends are making a real impact.
Yeah, I mean they definitely are. I think I saw you guys post a bit about the ADHD thing. I also ADHD, and so does my son. He's a little young, coffee, I think, but it's maybe he's only 12, but he's, I notice it makes a big difference for me when I have like these lists of like hundreds of things I need to do and then going ADHD brain. It makes a huge difference for me. And like I think that's it, is just knowing that impact is deeper than just selling cool coffee beans.
Yeah.
It is changing people's lives 100%.
Yeah. And I think it's like in general, like even if you're saying like, oh, I don't have ADHD or I'm going through menopause, in general, like people are living very stressed lives nowadays. And like you'll go somewhere like you go on a holiday to an island, so everyone just seems so happy and then like hey, you go on the like tube and you're like, why is everyone so stressed? So it helps to balance. It's true though, right?
But yeah, I mean, have you, you've noticed the impact of adrenal fatigue on people, I assume. And I think, when I first found you on, I'm trying to think of, it was one of the wholesale sites for, which one was it? And I hardly remember.
We're a fair anchor store.
Anchor store. That's where I found you guys originally. And so I put your coffees in the Happy Healthy Hippie box. And, I had amazing feedback on them. But the focus of that box is really for a lot of people who are working through trauma and fighting burnout and increasing self-love. Those are the goals. And when I saw adaptogens, I mean, everybody should be bringing them into their life, no matter what they're going through, because you say, stress is at an all-time high.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's tons of different factors that could play into it, and I guess you don't know anybody's personal situation unless you sit down and have a chat with them.
And they're open to
and
they're open to it as well, right?
But you see it. I mean, you see it everywhere you go. And then when you catch those glimpses of joy that you see in people, these really beautiful moments, they feel so nice to see. And so I just think you need to, I don't know, having stuff like this, helping people get balance, find balance, and find joy again. And I'm not saying coffee solves your problems, but
it does.
It sure does. But it does help you manage things.
Well, this is it. It's like you talk about balance, and it's like when we're in homeostasis, it's in our bodies are balanced. Like we've balanced out our stresses and stuff.
Yeah.
When our systems are imbalanced, like they're amazing and they'll help us if we are going through any sort of like you said, renal fatigue or injury, or anything we're trying to heal from. Once you're in homeostasis, it allows you to do that.
Yeah.
You're gonna have that deeper sleep, you're going to start recovering. Like, bodies, like, we're designed to heal ourselves, right?
Yeah.
You just got to create the right conditions, and it's just like kind of like one piece of the puzzle.
Yeah, you give that support,
Yeah,
so that people can start to heal themselves.
100%. Yeah.
And I think too, just meeting you, I know I can tell just how you are energetically. That is the goal, is to really, talking about this on other episodes, but leave people better than you found them. And so I think I can see that there is that intention with the products that you release.
I love how you put that.
It's true.
How you put that. That means a lot. Because we have that on the side of the box, find your flow, right? Because like for us personally, when we were starting, it's like we want to find our flow state. When you have it's like when you have that really productive morning where you lose track of time because you're so engrossed in the task, and you're like 2-3 hours go by and you're like, oh my God, I've just done so much, right? Because I didn't have any distractions, I was lost, like you lose track of time, right?
Yeah.
We're actually so we still have that. That's still like, if you've got brain fog, you can't focus, you have the flow. But if you're physically fatigued, like your body's tired, you need the mojo to pick your energy levels up. Or if you're super stressed, like you need a stressful meeting or something stressful going on, you're not your most productive self, right? Yeah. So you have the zone. But we're actually changing it to elevate your day, because it's not just about finding your flow and your most productive self.
Yeah.
But it's also sometimes you just need to elevate your day a little bit. So you can have that flow or mojo then, depending on what you need to elevate your day.
Oh, and yes, I absolutely love that. Because I'm thinking, I'm like, find your flow. It makes so much sense for me. And when I read it, I feel it resonates with me. But elevating your day, it's even more, because it fits so many circumstances, whether you're going for, like, I don't know, a night out, wild night out.
Oh, like that. But I mean, they both still apply. Like, we still use find your flow, but we're introducing like elevate your day messaging as well. Yeah,
that is so cool. I'm just sitting here like,
you're like, how many boxes can I steal?
Maybe. No, I just love it, honestly.
Appreciate it, actually.
I
love your mushrooms.
I do love my mushrooms. When I was in Canada, if they put on like whole mushroom symposiums, and you can go and study and learn about mushrooms, and they did like these whole mushroom feasts and all this stuff for people. It was like amazing. But yeah, you learned so much about it, and you see it just really simply how mushrooms can just like change the day for everybody.
There's a mushroom for everything. They do, they have on the other kind of mushrooms and psychedelics and stuff. They have something called Breaking Convention here in a few weeks, which is like talking about psychedelics and mushrooms and stuff.
Really?
Yeah, like a little conference. I don't think it's slightly on like the more scientific side of things. There'll be loads of healthy, happy
hippies.
Healthy, happy metal hippies. Metal, how do you say it?
Healthy metal hippies.
There'll be a lot of healthy metal hippies, I'm sure.
It's interesting. I have a friend in Canada, and he has written a ton of books about these other kinds of mushrooms.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, and he's been really big in part of the research and using them for mental health and overcoming depression and just all sorts of things. It's been really interesting. You should find his books for you too, because
I'd love to have a look.
Just
the Canadians, like, Canada's so forward with these things, right? Or is it?
Yes and no. Some of it surprised me, to be honest, that they did, that they like legalized marijuana and things like that, and that they've, they're legalizing a lot of these psychedelic mushrooms for
like therapy, for therapy.
Yeah, exactly.
Suddenly everyone needs therapy.
Yes.
Like, actually, I kind of need some therapy today. But I think that's the way the whole world's going to go eventually.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, it's and I guess, I mean, sidestepping, but just thinking about marijuana, I mean, most of the states it's legal now. And
In Canada.
in Canada is 100% legal.
Are you talking about America?
America,
Okay.
most of the states, it's legal there. And, and easy, like you would go and buy alcohol or cigarettes.
Do you know what? That's different in Canada than alcohol. You have to go to an alcohol shop.
Yes, that is true. You can't just
You can't just go to
Tesco.
Yeah, or the off-lights.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true. And I mean, and you also can't buy cigarettes in like, your grocery shop or things like that. You can pretty much only buy them at gas stations.
Buy all the processed foods you want there.
Exactly. Makes sense, right?
You can have these highly processed foods. I mean, I think that a lot of people are waking up to what they put in their body nowadays.
Yeah.
It's so important. Or maybe that's just the world that we're in. We're in like a bubble.
You know what? I think yes and no. I think there's a really big movement with the collective consciousness.
Yeah.
And that, it kind of all elevates overall at once. You know what I mean? And some people are here, and if we've got the averages around here, there's obviously going to be some that are here and some here, but
it makes sense.
It is.
It's a lot of sense.
I think more people are like with the mushrooms, people, with healthy eating, healthy lifestyles, balance. And I wonder too if even it probably was accelerated because of COVID, right?
I think so.
And people really, you spend a lot of time with yourself. You have to dig deep, and you have to learn a lot about yourself that if you had just been carrying on with normal life, you wouldn't have had to before,
Yeah, exactly. I think and also I think with the whole COVID thing, suddenly everyone's being like, how healthy am I? Like, how goes my immune system?
Yes.
And these kind of things. And then you start looking into like, I don't know, you follow some healthy influencers online, and then
some, I'm sure.
yeah, and then then you learn a lot, right?
Yes, absolutely. And I think I will also say to you, when you are following these health influencers, do extra research too, because some of them I don't know, but
100%. This is it, right?
Find your knowledge from like a wide source.
You're like, eggs are good, eggs are bad. Oh my god, eggs are going to give me cancer. Oh my god, eggs are really good for me again.
I was talking about this with my boyfriend last night. We were out for a walk, and we were talking about margarine, the healthy replacement to butter.
Oh no, that's really bad.
No, and how these things change, right? And eggs, that was my other thing. Eggs are bad for you. Don't eat eggs. They're so high in cholesterol, you're going to die. No, eggs are good. Let's eat eggs. Eggs are good. No, bad for us. So there's constantly stuff changing, right? Milk. People are not consuming dairy like they used to, which is a good thing. And in my opinion,
but there's some milks that are really bad for you as well.
Exactly.
Some of these ones where they put the oil in.
Yes, exactly.
Spikes the glucose level, and you're just like, dang.
It's even stuff like the environmental damage that having almond milk is doing, right? Like,
we're not having almond milk. Oh no, we're having almond milk. Back with milk.
Yes, and so, but I mean, this is it though. You're right. You have all these added fats, and so
what do almonds do? Almonds spike something. Raspberries and almonds.
Do they?
Oxalates. Is it called oxalates? But basically, with some certain foods, you should only have them seasonally.
Right.
So almonds and raspberries, I'm going to say oxalates. Listen, you might need to fact check that. But they spike this, right? And then, like, traditionally, what we'll do is, like, you'd only have raspberries at, like, these 2 months in the year, right?
Yeah.
Then the rest of the year, like, your body's detoxified from it, right? From the higher oxalates. Same with almonds. But now you can go and buy raspberries every day at the store.
Yes, you can.
And you can have a lot of raspberries, and then you get really high levels. So even some things that we're like, no, they're definitely healthy. Is actually, like, out of the plant milks, apparently coconut is the healthiest, but It tastes a bit coconutty.
Yeah, I don't love
It
it.
tastes a bit, yeah. I'm like, it kind of
And
changes.
hey,
It
I use dairy splash in my milk in my coffee.
It's fine. So that's probably the best in terms of health wise.
I don't, I do buy almond milk sometimes and things like that, but, and I'll buy different milk alternatives, but I'm not a milk drinker to start with,
Yeah, I'm just saying, just
Like,
tiny splash.
splash.
With that, then with the plant mix, there are some that are like they make them clean, right?
Yes.
Just read the packet because some of them have got like
Yes.
sunflower oil and rapeseed oil, and it's like you're just drinking oil.
Exactly. And I think that's another part of it too, is people are getting more conscious about what's in their food, more conscious about reading labels and, trying to avoid, say, like palm oil and things like that.
Seed oils is bad.
Yes.
Seed oils is bad. But then you're like, okay, actually, some seed oils when you're cooking have a higher heat, whatever called barrier.
Yeah.
They don't.
Flash point. I think.
Is it called flash point?
Yeah.
And again, don't trust my thing. Is it called oxidizing the thing? Something happens to the oil when it gets hot, right?
Yeah.
But because that's not happening to those oils, they're actually a bit healthier to cook with.
Exactly.
So you're like, actually,
and this
is square one.
This is it, where there's so many different circumstances that apply to different knowledge, and it's not just.
For what like at very top level, the way I approach it is like the less processed is better. Because it's always going to be processed, even if it's a cucumber.
Yeah.
Like it's been sprayed and put in a plastic thing, right? It's some kind of processing, unless you're picking it from the ground. So like almost everything you get has some level of processing. Go for the lower amount of processing, the least processed possible.
Least modification.
Yeah. Try and buy whole foods, the least processed where you can. It's not easy for a lot of people as well.
No,
right?
and and that's the other thing. It's like, I think I was talking about this again with my boyfriend last night. It's all about balance, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I like sweet treats. Absolutely. I like a bowl of Frosties.
Frosties.
Yeah,
you know Kellogg's, yeah? Kellogg's Frosties.
Yeah.
You know the story, Kellogg's?
Yeah, I do. There's tons of Frosties, but
the main one, the reason why they made Kellogg's.
I think so. I don't know. Now tell me, is this safe for camera?
I mean, our kids watching.
No, probably not. But
it's to do. I'm trying to make it as PG as possible. The guy that started Kellogg's, like as a Mr. Kellogg's himself, like he made Kellogg's to make people like more docile, like reduce their libido because they didn't want him to masturbate.
Right. Then there's also the story about the graham cracker.
What's the graham cracker?
So graham crackers are like, I don't know, what would be the closest thing here? I'm like, I want to.
It's a cereal, yeah.
No, it's like it's like a biscuit.
A biscuit.
So probably closest thing that I can think of would be like a rich tea biscuit.
A rich tea.
That'd probably be the closest, but it's still different. Okay, you'd put a graham cracker on the outside of s'mores if you're making s'mores.
What's s'mores?
Oh, I need to come back with a s'mores kit, but it's like graham cracker, marshmallow, and like chocolate, and then you like roast the marshmallow and you squish it together, and the chocolate melts, and it's delightful.
Okay, I'm trying to picture. The closest thing I've got is a wagon wheel in my head.
Sort of, but not quite.
Not chocolatey.
No. It's different. But that he created graham crackers to stop self-pleasure.
That is self-pleasure in itself. That sounds pretty pleasurable to me.
Yeah, I mean the original recipe, which I guess is still pretty close. It's like no. I think they weren't for s'mores. They were just to stop that.
Why was poutine? Is it poutine?
Poutine?
Yeah, why was that made?
Because I guess people like cheese and gravy and fries.
Yeah, I love that stuff.
I don't like poutine.
You don't like
No, I'm a really awful Canadian, to be honest.
I'll have a little bit. Like it tastes really good, but then I'm like this.
This is like 4 days of calories.
Yeah, exactly. This is a lot of. Did it taste good?
But
what treats?
but this is it. Yeah, it's balance. Like I say, I like a bowl of frosties, and but or I like.
You're never gonna look at frosties the same.
No, I'm gonna go home and do that.
It's like this. These are just for me then. But yeah, and then like agreed. It's all about balance. And like maybe adaptogenic coffee is just a way to bring a little bit of balance to your day, I think.
It is 100%, and supports you, I think, on all of the goals that you have, whether it's personally or your business goals or even just like your family goals and things like that, right? Keeping up with your kids or like, being calm when they're not.
Yeah, exactly. Would make you apparently. You know we had a guy write to us something about like how our adaptogenic coffee made his wife not leave him or something like that. It was crazy. He wrote the whole story out.
Can you tell us a little bit about the story?
It was I'm just trying to recall like the top line was, hey guys, I was having a really, really tough time at home. I was super stressed. Like I was sure my wife was going to leave me. We all started having adaptogenic coffee, and now we're a happy family again. And it was crazy, but like I didn't believe him. But why would he write this to us? So yeah, there you go.
But that's, and that's it.
Got been divorces since 2020.
Oh my gosh! So yeah, so you launched in 2020 then.
In 2020.
Wow. And then when did the Dragon's Den? When was that?
Dude, I don't know what year we're in.
24.
In 24. So 2 years ago. So it would have been 2022. We would have recorded it in 2021. Because then they showed it, we recorded in July and they showed it the following February on TV.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Holy. So what was it like starting up during the pandemic?
It was actually pretty convenient because they closed all the coffee shops.
You're like,
We're like, whoa, and it's really healthy and we deliver online. But it was like, you just have to change your plans. Like, a lot of people had to majorly disrupt things. There are a lot of businesses that were really badly affected. So thankfully we were okay and we just adapted really quickly. We said like, we're going to just do online deliveries, like through that.
Right. And they are the perfect size.
Well, that's why we made it that size. By a 1 millimeter. So they can be sent as letters, yeah.
That's so awesome. You also had a cocktail or something? Or something in some
Something launched, yeah. Company called Drake and Morgan launched like a mushroom espresso martini.
Sounds so good. Did you try it?
Pretty good, yeah. We went there. They made us and everything, yeah.
Was it like a limited feature? Can you still go get it?
It was limited. It was like they did it in one branch. One branch was trying to do something special for like, I think it was like around September, October, like Halloween times.
Yeah.
And they're like, we're doing a special menu. Can we make this? So we gave some to their mixologists and they were like, yeah, we love it. And it was I think it was their best seller during the period that then for January they had like some anti-dry January menu. They called it Try January.
Right.
And they made all these like new cocktails and they added it in 13 branches across, I think it's London or UK, but they added it in the menu, yeah.
Oh,
pretty cool one.
So, and is it still in the menu?
That was
just for
Try January.
Ugh, so I missed that.
Listen, we can make them. We just need to get the espresso martini, right? Okay. Can you make espresso martini?
Yeah.
And then just put the coffee in instead. It's the normal coffee.
Okay.
But in like a shot.
Yeah. And with vodka. Can we cook vodka, right?
I don't know. I'm not very good with alcohol. Just give me like a G&T and I'm done.
Me too. So wait. Okay, then I need to know, what's your favorite gin?
I always ask for the really nice one. I don't know.
The really nice one.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know gins.
Oh.
I'm impartial to a little bit of whiskey as well, just like neat, just like a little bit.
Ooh. Yeah, I'm 100% a gin drinker.
What's your favorite gin?
Probably Silent Pool.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, they're in Surrey, and they're so good.
What's so good about it? Taste.
Everything. Yeah.
Silent pool, even the name.
Yeah. And I mean, they're glassware. Like all my glasses are silent pool at home.
Okay. You are the biggest fan.
I am. I had them once in bar here in London, and after that,
You're right.
I needed them. And they did really beautiful like coronation ones for King Charles, and they did the Queen's Platinum Jubilee blend, which was so good too. Like they're amazing. You need to try them if you love them.
I'm gonna keep an eye out for it now. I have to try. Up against that bar that you're in.
Yeah, I think that they serve it at a lot of bars here now in London, but I had it at like Jamie's wine bar. Just didn't know in the city, but
I don't know names.
that's okay. He's like,
I just think I just don't know names. Yeah,
this is what happens. You are the embodiment of the brand.
Love it.
You find the flow, you go with the flow.
You go with the flow, exactly. Run with the flow.
Are there anything, new launches, new events, anything exciting where people can find you right now coming up for 24?
So, probably the most exciting thing was launching the new Zain formula last week.
Right.
Yeah. And that was pretty good. That was a pretty big one. It's the first time we changed or like upgraded any of our blends. And we've been testing it for 6 months. And it was like, this is the new Zain.
Just totally
introducing healthy. Yeah. We were so excited about it. That's how.
I'm very excited to try it because I don't have the new blend.
Oh, you have the new, listen.
And so I got to try the new blend. And honestly, I'm really excited about it. Will you be at any festivals this year where people catch you out and about?
So I'm trying to think in my events calendar. We'll be at the Medicine Festival. We should be there.
Okay.
So
what is that in April? Not April, sorry, August?
Usually in August, yeah. And that's a really fun festival.
So if you're in the UK, check out the Medicine
Festival, Biohacker Summit.
Biohacker
Summit. That's a really good one. That's going to be in Helsinki.
Oh.
In July, I want to say beginning of July.
Oh.
That's all about health and well-being, and that's a really good one as well.
That's going to be really cool.
Yeah.
So they can find you at those festivals this year.
Yeah.
And then we'll link to all of your socials, your websites, everything else.
Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thanks for having me.
I can't say enough praises about you guys. It's life-changing, for so many people, and I'm just delighted to spread the word more for you.
I appreciate it. That means a lot.
Well, we'll see you soon. Thank you so much for joining us today on the Healthy Metal Hippie podcast. If you're looking for more, head to healthymetalhippie.com and let's connect. Until next time, wishing you a magical week. See you later.